Hello, hello. My name is Evie, and this is how you can tell if a musical theater program is actually good. So, my first video was about how to make the list, how to compile things, how to organize things, etc. But this video is going to be about, should I add this program to my list? Is this a good addition to my list? Is this school right for me? Is this school a good program? Etc. You can add a bunch of random schools you don't really know, but it's better to research that school a lot before you add it to your list, because I think in general it's a good idea to make sure that you would love going to all of the schools on your list, because you don't know which one you're going to end up at. You don't know which one you're going to get accepted to and eventually attend. So I think you should love all the schools on your list, and this is a good first step and first video to watch to make sure that you will. I have 5 points that I think are the most important to tell if a musical theater program is good and it's good enough quality and worth your money. Again, this is my opinion, so if you disagree with anything, then you're totally welcome to do that. Also, I have not been through all 4 years of college. I just went through the musical theater audition process, and this is what I've learned from that. That is what I'm giving my information from. So yeah, let's get into it. These are the 5 ways you can tell if a musical theater program is actually good. Number 1, do their students have enough performance opportunities, and are those performance opportunities better than what you had in high school? The biggest things to check online are whether underclassmen get cast in main stage productions, because if you're only performing with an adult director in your junior and senior year, I don't think you're getting your money's worth for a program that's supposed to be teaching you how to perform. Other things to look for would be how many main stages they do a year, because a lot of main stages means less opportunities for the same 5 people to get the leads in each one, thus more opportunities for everyone, while still being fair in casting. I think it's a really good idea to see the performances out of college in order to make sure that it's 1, filled with a bunch of talented actors, obviously, 2, has a high enough budget to show that the school actually invests in the arts. It can be really frustrating to be at a school where they don't invest in the arts and they don't pay a lot of attention to your department, so that might be something worth considering. And 3, is leagues better than your high school? That last point may seem obvious, but I've actually had really high expectations for some colleges when going to see their performances, only to find that my school did something of similar quality a few months ago. It should be the bare minimum that a college is more impressive than a high school, even if the high school is for performing arts or finalists in the state, but some of them just aren't because they don't have a good volume of applicants applying, or their faculty isn't really qualified, whatever. So the best thing to do really is to see their performances and visit the school. And I know it's not completely possible for everybody to do that, so just do the closest thing you can. Number 2, research their faculty and recent events. This is something that people don't talk about a lot, but I think is really, 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 really important. There was a school that I almost applied to until I found out that the year before, their head of musical theater stepped down and was replaced with someone that reportedly wasn't as good for the program. I would have never known about that if it wasn't for the fact that I found it on an online internet thread. And look, I know people bash College Confidential since it's not the most accurate. It is a really great way to get first-hand accounts from people. You're never going to see those on a college website, so I recommend asking about your potential college on there, but take every response with a grain of salt, because it is just a few people responding, not the majority of the people that go to that school. Also, I would recommend not applying anywhere that had huge budget cuts to their art departments. I heard that's been happening a lot lately, have a lot of faculty leaving, or in general seem to be in a weird transition stage. Because, you don't want to apply for a program thinking it's one way, but actually a bunch of stuff changed and now it's completely different, 2 years in, right? And again, you mostly find out about this from word of mouth. But just be on the lookout and ask questions to people who attend if you're worried about any of those things. Number 3, a good musical theater program should have the opportunity to get yourself in front of agents your senior year. It doesn't have to be in a big city live. I've heard a lot of agents prefer online showcases. Schools do online showcases and they're successful, so that's fine too. But either way, a showcase is very, very important for your future success. Learning how to perform is great, and that's what we want to do as people going into musical theater. But also, if you're going to college for musical theater, and this is just an assumption, but if you're going to college for musical theater, I'm assuming that you don't already have the connections to get on Broadway or make a full career out of this. Otherwise, you wouldn't be going to college, you'd just be doing it, right? A musical theater major will get you a job if your school has connections or resources or a showcase. It doesn't have to be like a Broadway pipeline school, but it does need to teach you how to get a job and give you some opportunity, along with how to nurture your art and be a good performer. You can't have one without the other and still have it be a good program, at least in my eyes. Number 4, is your school in a good location that gives you a lot of opportunities? Now this one, I know a lot of people prefer rural campuses for whatever personal reasons they have, but I think that for this major, unfortunately, there is a lot more to be said for an urban campus, and there's a lot more opportunities that come with an urban campus. Rural campuses are still like some of the best schools, some of the best MT schools in the country are on rural campuses, but I'm just saying, like, if you add up the dots, if you're trying to make a pros and cons list, I think that urban should be on the pros list. That's more of what I mean. Yeah, a lot of people don't like to admit this, but being in a city can give you access to a lot that a rural community cannot. If your rural community or small town has a large theater, that's something, and that's great, that's perfectly fine. But most do not, at least not on the same level as a city would. And it's just a lot better going into the business having done a professional show in college than not having one. College is the perfect time to start your career, because if you start it after, it's going to be a lot harder because you're not being provided with food and housing anymore. You're going to need another job that might make it harder to audition and participate in shows. So when you live on an urban campus, you can just do that during the school year rather than only in summer where it's 10 times more competitive. And lastly, number 5, it's a short one. Are the students happy and successful? This last one is pretty simple, but basically just see if your school at least has some alumni that are working actors on Broadway, and ask students questions about their experiences. Don't be afraid to email or DM people to ask for their honest opinions on the program and whether they think you should apply or not. I mean, especially ask people who have already graduated, because it's not like they're going to get in trouble for it. You know, like they're going to give you their honest opinions, and I think that's a really valuable thing to consider when choosing colleges. Like, you don't have to visit in person all of your colleges and also like talk to people who have attended all of your colleges, because that's a lot, and I know that people are probably applying to a lot of colleges. Visit the ones that you can feasibly visit without spending a lot of money, but otherwise, like, see their performances online, do virtual tours, and then just generally ask, like, on College Confidential, or like DM people on Instagram who you know has gone to those schools, and ask them, like, hey, did you enjoy going here? Do you think that it offered you a lot of opportunities? What are the pros and cons of going here, etc. So yeah, short video, but those are the 5 main things that I think you should first look for when deciding if a college should go on your list. And it's the 5 things that I believe make up a good program. Notice how I never said low acceptance rate, right? Acceptance rates only tell you how popular a school is for people auditioning. Now, yes, that often does correlate with good quality programs, but there are a lot of schools that have great quality programs and everything that I said on this list that have high acceptance rates. I think that's an important thing to understand. The acceptance rate doesn't directly tell you how good their training is or how good their opportunities are. And while rich schools do often correlate with successful alumni, that doesn't tell you anything about the program itself and whether it is right for you. All right, so that is it. I hope this video was helpful. It was a short one, especially compared to my last one, but these are some pretty quick, snappy points that I figured I could get done and get to y'all pretty quickly. So I hope this was helpful. Bye.